I grew up in a very small town in India in the Bengali community, where ghost stories are part of our literature and culture. We grew up reading stories about friendly ghosts, Shiak creatures, that get serious as you adapt to more grown-up books. You can also do a simple Google search, Ghosts in Bengali Community, and you will find a list of them. Moreover, we do have a festival called Phut Chaturdashi, which is similar to that of Halloween in the West. So, I wasn't really scared of such things as a kid, but I was really intrigued by it. This is the story of such a creature called Nishi. At least, that's what my grandpa believes it was. I will narrate this story on behalf of my grandfather, who would always tell me stories of other people's experiences, but this one is his personal experience. Back then, in early 50s, there used to be a temple where my grandfather lived. It was a very small, secluded village between the borders of Bangladesh and India. In that temple, till the late 30s, people used to practice the ritual of sacrificing human heads and goat heads. And he has told me about many instances where he had to come home late from work, and he would spot figures of half human, half goat, like shadows in the dark lanes. Sounds creepy, right? But things turned upside down for him one night. It was monsoon, the season of the most awaited freshwater fish of the year called hilsa, and my grandfather had the habit of fishing post-sunset. He said the fishes were calmer in that lake nearby after sunset. Although nobody understood that logic, but I guess he was just avoiding getting bothered by other fishermen. He couldn't tell me the exact time, but he thinks he was fishing around 8:30 p.m. Mind you, it was a very small village between the borders, and 8:30 p.m. was like post-midnight there. He was fishing happily and got too lucky with the big-size hilsas with lots of eggs inside its stomach. The lake was 10 minutes' walk from his house and exactly at the opposite of that temple. After some time, he heard my grandma calling him from behind somewhere in the darkness, but she usually doesn't do that. He came for fishing after he had a long day at the shop where he worked. He had his dinner, and everyone was asleep. He didn't want to be bothered. He specifically told that to my grandma before leaving the house. "What is it, woman?" he yelled without looking back, focusing on his fishing net, but there was no response. "What?" he yelled again in a few seconds. No response came. She never stepped outside alone that late. She always mentioned how the village felt after 6 p.m. It felt as if every single person was dead inside their houses. Even the animals were quieter, and not a single leaf moved during summers. It felt like something very bad happened in the village every night and everyone died of a plague. He realized that it could be something urgent. He started packing everything and he was about to leave when he hears his name being called again in the darkness, echoing in the emptiness. Why wouldn't she just come to the lake instead? He thought to himself. "Don't wander in the darkness, dear. Go home. I am following you," he replied to the echoes. "Following you. Following you. Following you." A playful voice emerged from the darkness with every word sounding deeper than usual, like a mix of both male and female. This was the moment he realized that this is something absolutely sinistrous. "Dear, following you. Dear, following you." This time, the voice became more deep and almost sounded like my grandpa's own voice. He had an old-fashioned lantern that flames on kerosene oil that kept the area lit where he stood. He also carried some spare kerosene in a different container, but he was too scared to move or scream. The fishes were coming out of the fish net and started quivering on the ground while he just stood there, frozen. Then there were sinister laughs and cries, the voice of his wife calling, his own voice copying him like a parrot. All that in the darkness with no source known to man. This lasted for a couple of minutes, and then there was again the sound of his wife calling like before, but this time it was crying. "Love me. Come to me. I don't have much time left. Love me. Come to me." I don't have much time left. As the flame from the lantern got smaller and smaller, the voices seemed nearer. After this incident, all he remembers is that he woke up in his bed next morning, and there was a gathering of so many neighbors at his front yard, and my grandma was worried sick, crying profusely. He suffered from high fever for the next 2 weeks after that incident and never stepped outside post 6 p.m. A year later, after my dad was born, my grandparents left the village forever.